Hi and welcome back to my solo playthrough of Altar Quest. Unfortunately, I messed up with the Warcry feed cut here. I played it as assigning a damage to the one Raglander was out there and I was being made away. That's wrong. And of course, you are correct. I was looking at this and for whatever reason I also connected it to this. So I was in theory short of 1 damage. But at that point in time, I believe I already had the old ways feature card or feed card with me, and right now let's simply assume I have played this card and I have passed the test. I think I had some stuff at that point in time, so let's simply consider it this way, that we were able to use it. Of course, then we would have been missed out on the damage here. That's now my penalty, or that's how I'm penalizing myself, and I will also not look into anything else. I have also lost the card. I will not change anything in respect to my focus token, but that's currently the only way how I will be able to fix this, at least somewhat, without being too tough on myself, but also not making lives too easy for me, because otherwise the minion would have been still around. And I'm pretty sure if I would have played it, I think I really thought about this card and really said, okay, let's play it, but then, yeah, whatever. It happened, I forgot. And yeah, I will try to remember these things as I move along. Okay, so those 2 cards are gone now, but I think this also means we can go back to our hero turn. We were able to find our first clue here. Problem is we need the exact copy of the torn map again in order to win this game. Of course, we still have a lot of explore in this playthrough. After all, we still need to find the altar room, which is among a deck of 8 cards. So yeah, let's see how good or bad we are doing. So let's simply go into our next round, and the idea is to open another room. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So in theory, if we would go here, we would still have 1 movement point left. The problem with this room is it's the same thing as in this room here. The feature space is relatively far away, so even from here we would not be able to move 1, 2, 3 spaces adjacent to it, and that's only if it's a big feat. So I think in this case we would rather move down here, because from here we can still move in here and then in there. So I think that's the better deal. So yeah, let's spend our very first action here to move 1, 2, 3 spaces here. We will open the door basically with a free action. Keep in mind that's a free action, but can only be done once per hero per turn, or per action phase in this case. So if you would play with 2 heroes, then each hero would be able to do that in a given round. With 1, that's the only room I'm allowed to open, or at least another room to explore. I can still go through other doors if, for example, we would already, let's say I would move back into this room. This is an explored room, and I think then I'm allowed to actually open that door, but I'm not allowed to explore another room. So again, the first thing that will happen, we will see or check out what feature we will see here. So let's have a look. And wow, that's again one from the Kickstarter exclusive. Okay, some crates. A hero adjacent to this feature may gain 1 supply. That's never a bad thing. And if we would interact, yes, we can search again with our, I think it's intellect. Then you may discard 1 supply to draw 1 search card. Okay, that's not too bad. If we want more search cards, I think that's a good thing. Let me try to find the miniature. And it seems it's a big one, and I really do like the features. And I think this is really the one thing that is, which I really like about those Kickstarter exclusives, simply getting some more features into the game. And there are also additional altars and whatnot, so I think this really also helps to increase the replayability of this game pretty heavily, actually. Okay, we will have to draw our next quest card that goes next to those crates. So let's see. A makeshift vault. The enemy's vault lies ahead. Motivation surges through you, knowing that answers must be at hand. What you seek is valuable, and here is where valuables look to be kept. Now, it's just a matter of finding out just what exactly the enemy values. When revealed, attach this card to this room's feature card. We will do that in a second. Then each hero who does not control a clue, we do control a clue, may move up to 3 space. Oh, that would have been a nice freebie, actually. And then activate, yeah, same thing applies for all of those. I believe we will be able to go through the clue deck, and then, yeah, we can control the clue or not if we want to. Okay, I think that's okay. We cannot get the freebie, but yeah, that's what it is. And then we have to spawn, or at least draw another threat card. We don't know if it's really an enemy. So let's see what we get. Okay, that's a trap. Ooh, okay, that looks disgusting actually. Okay, we have to spawn this trap now as close as possible to the feature, but also as close as possible to as many heroes as possible. I think this will be one of those spaces here. It has a range of only 1, that's okay. And each minion threat card gains 1 threat tokens. Okay, that's how threat tokens come into the play. Right now we don't have any minion cards. That's good. We can interact it to do a task action with our strong suit actually. Yeah, I think that's fortitude. But we need 4 progress in order to overcome this trap. And when it activates, each minion threat card gains 1 threat token, and each hero with no minion threat card in their threat area draws 1 threat card. So that's a kind of nasty one. That's why you typically want to get rid of those traps as soon as possible. But right now there aren't any minions out there, so maybe we can live with that. But if we don't do anything about this trap, it will trigger, or we will get a threat at the end of the activation here. So yeah, sooner or later we may have to face it. And overcoming a trap is simply like defeating a minion, for example, or an enemy would also gain a supply, which is always never a bad thing. Okay, let me see if I have an actual miniature for this kind of trap actually. And I think I do actually. That's the blue trap here, and I think we can place it here or there. I'm not really sure if it makes a difference or not. We have to step into the room now anyway, and that's kind of a bummer. We don't have to worry about triggering this right now, so we can easily step next to it, because again there aren't any minions on the board yet. But we still have, that's really bad. Oh yeah, having now 1 more movement would have been very nice actually. I mean, even if we would have gone for the other room with that 1 extra move, we wouldn't have come close enough to that, and we have to interact from a range 1. That's this one in the brackets here. Okay, yeah, it goes into our threat area nonetheless, but the more I think about it, I think we want to have this trap in here, because I could now move 1, 2, oh no, that's okay. No, I think it doesn't change too much, right? Yeah, because we won't be able to get adjacent to a door for next round then, and to pretty much the trap. And we also want to be next to that feature here, because we might get our next clue card from this one. So yeah, let's leave it there. That's fine. We still have 2 more action, and again the problem really is we don't have any free movement. That's really a bummer now. That's definitely a huge disadvantage compared to others. Of course, she's really strong when it comes down to fighting, don't get me wrong, but having characters who can at least move once or twice for free is definitely, yeah, that's huge. Okay, I think, yeah, then we will simply spend our second action already to move 1, 2 spaces in here. So we have triggered this trap, but again there aren't any minions on the board. We can simply move past this. So we have 1 more action, and with that action we could now either interact with the crates, or we can interact with the trap, and I think I want to get rid of the trap. Problem is, it's very unlikely I will be able to take it out, but I have to try at least. So let's do that. So we will interact with our fortitude. That's at least something. We get 3 dice because that's our fortitude. We will spend 1 of our supplies to add 1 more die, and that's the maximum we can do. Unfortunately, we cannot spend unlimited amount of supplies for extra dice, and we will, yeah, simply start rolling some dice here. I think I don't need to zoom out any further, and yeah, we are looking for 4 successes in total. And this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Awesome. So we have to spend 1, and we will get 1. So we will get this focus token right back, and those were 4 successes. Amazing. That was really amazing. And we also, that's cool, we also get, where is my, here, we also get the supplies back because we have overcome this trap. Oh, that's nice. That was really nice. Good job, Marine. Perfect. But those were all of our actions. Of course, we could still play, or we could still exhaust cards. We could still, we could still play feet. But I think playing cards right now may not be our thing. And in order to gain a shield, we need the earth symbol on those rune dice, which we don't have. The earth is this diamond shape symbol. And for all the other symbols, we would still need to play a card, which I don't want to do right now. Yeah, I guess we will call it a round. I think so. Yeah, I think we can also get rid of that trap, by the way. Let's quickly do that. And yeah, last thing to do, we will get an extra card. We might need it, and that's the exploit surroundings. And I believe you already have seen that. Yeah, we can search, and then each character in your room gains 1 armor token, and we can discard from each enemy in your room. It's also very nice, actually, because there are really some effects which give them an endless amount of defense token or armor tokens. That's a great way to get rid of some of those. But I think this card is a bit more useful in a multiplayer game, I would imagine. Or playing with more than one hero. Again, there is nothing in our threat area, so we can move directly into our villain turn. And that's now where it seems right now a little bit boring, actually, because she's so powerful, or she was so lucky getting rid of all her minions. And the trap, with the first minion I kind of cheated, but I'm pretty sure again I would have been able to take this one out in round 1 with playing the other feature card. So right now it's relatively relaxed for her. If now a minion would have showed up and she would not have been able to defeat that minion, then I'm pretty sure things would start to pile up. But okay, I take it. So Gert will activate. Each hero must either discard 1 armor token. I think we still don't have one, so we have to go for a resist test and need 3 successes. Okay, let's do that. And again, our willpower is only a 2. Should I now spend 1 supply to roll 1 more die? Because we already have 2 points of damage. Poof. And we have 3 supply tokens. Yeah, let's not be too crazy. Let's spend 1 supply to add 1 more die to the test. We need 3 successes. Okay, that's an exploding die. We get 1 more. That's another exploding die. We get 1 more, and I'm only keep on rolling because it could be an additional focus token, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Perfect. We get 2 focus tokens in total. I think that's not too shabby. Awesome. We still have to draw a villain card, of course. So let's see what we get. Pungent Aura, an event. Pretty cool artwork on this one here. Each hero must test, I keep forgetting, intellect, and need 3 success. I think we only roll 1 die. Okay. Each hero who fails must either discard 1 supply or suffer 1 damage. Yeah, I could spend 1 supply to roll 1 more die, but what's the point? No, I think let's simply roll this 1 die. We could roll whatever, 3 exploding dice, I don't know. But of course, everyone who's watching my channel knows I'm not in that position. And okay, that's a standard success, not enough. We have failed. We now discard either 1 supply or suffer 1 damage. I think let's now take the damage. Or should we? I mean, we have the supply. No, we have the supply. We will spend the supply. I think that would be stupid. Because I could use then the supply to rest later on, but I think that doesn't make sense. Let's spend that supply for now. That's totally fine. And that's already the villain card. We will move into the quest turn. So we will activate the search. Each hero controls a clue. Yes, we do. Must either discard 1 focus for each clue card they control or resist 3. I think we have more than enough focus. I have 1 clue, so let's spend that 1 focus. So we should be okay. And if there is 1 P quest token on this card, each hero must draw 1 threat card. So that really can get nasty. So let's say I'm really in the altar room and I have my 2 pieces of the torn map, for example, or 2 other clues. I will still have to go back to the stairs, and until I get there, I still have to draw threat cards. So this can get relatively nasty towards the end of the scenario. But yeah, we will worry about that when we get there. Next, we will deal with the Quaking Altar. I think we can discard. We don't have an armor token. There is no earth token, so we can also simply move over to the garbage heap. I think the garbage heap doesn't help or doesn't do anything because no hero is adjacent to that feature. Yep. So we will now activate a hero adjacent to this feature may gain 1 supply. Awesome. I'm adjacent to that feature, so I will gain 1 supply. I take that. Cool. And then, yeah, we haven't interacted with it, but of course we will still deal with a makeshift wall, a hero adjacent to the attached. Let me move over a little bit to the attached feature. May draw a card from the clue deck then if a hero takes control. Yeah. We know the drill, so let's draw ourselves our next clue card. And you must be kidding me. That's the tone map. Wow! In room 2 we already have found both pieces of our clues. Problem is it doesn't really help us. The only thing that it means is we don't need to sit close to our features anymore. We still have to explore the dungeon like crazy now to find that. And yeah, we will have to spend a hell of a lot of clue tokens now because yes, of course we will take control of this torn map here to place. Wow. Okay. That's really insane. Yes, again, we will take control of this clue for sure, because now we have 2 of those. And while adjacent to the altar, you may discard this card along with a matching copy of Torn Map to place 1 quest token on the quest rules card. Amazing. And then again, we have to move back to our stairs. But that's great progress. I have no clue what's going on, and really rest assured, I have not rigged this deck in any way. I mean, if you're really following my channel, you really know that I'm typically losing way more often than I win a game. So in this case, it is what it is. I happily take it. But yeah, and finding those clues is really not that big of a deal. There are a lot of cards and you will move through the dungeon sooner or later. So I think in this case, it might be even a disadvantage actually. So, yeah, I think so. Because now I have 2 clue cards which I would keep. If this wouldn't have been the same copy, maybe I would have discarded it, but you can also discard it every time. So I think in the end it doesn't really matter too much. It only means I will have now 2 clues until the end of the game, or at least until I find the altar room, that is. But of course it also means we are getting rid of the makeshift walls and we won't see any more of those quest cards anymore. Of course we will still reveal those, and if you want I will show these to you or read these to you, but again from an effect point of view, I mean, yeah, they're still getting revealed. I think they still have reveal effect. So no, I think that's still okay. We will still learn and we will still see some narrative in this game. But I guess that's the end of the round. Yes, we are moving back to the hero turn. And as I don't really care now where those features show up, I could really move anywhere I want. So in theory, I could now move in here, still have 2 more movement here. And for the next round, move down there, for example. I can now do a lot more prepping. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Because again, I don't need to be adjacent to those features anymore to gain the clue card. So maybe that's definitely a bonus. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, perfect. So we are spending our first action here to move 1 space here next to this room as a freebie. We will reveal it. And again, that's how I understand the rules, that you can keep moving. That's the one exception. Typically you have to complete your move, but I think when you're really exploring a new room, then it seems you can continue to move. Okay, what feature will we reveal? It's mine. It's still beautiful to look at. And here we have the bookshelf. Okay, that's a smaller one, and it's one from the base game pretty much. Let me try to find it. Here it is. And that's the bookshelf that goes in this space here. Again, if it's a 2-space feature, it goes to the area of the white arrows here. So basically as close to the wall as possible, which makes perfect sense, obviously. Activate. A hero adjacent to this feature may draw 1 card. Okay, that's definitely something to consider still, because they come with some rewards or special abilities that might help you. So maybe it does matter from time to time getting closer to those, other than just waiting for that clue card here. We can also interact with it, and for each supply we gained during this test, choose a hero in this room to draw 1 card. Also not terrible. But we are not done yet. Of course, we still have to draw our quest card. Again, this still counts, and they always come with a reveal effect as far as I remember. And here we have found the storage room. A welcome sight. Stocked shelves. Someone went to great lengths here to stockpile a random assortment of various goods. It's slightly dismaying to see how much is not useful to you or not easy to carry. But there are still some usable items when revealed. Attach this card to this room's feature card, of course. Then each hero may place one search token on this room's feature card to draw one search card. Yes, we are totally doing this, of course, because we don't really need to search there anymore. Okay, that's really cool stuff, and we will gain a search card right away. So let's place this one here. Every hero, it's only us, but I will totally take that search card. So what did we get? Okay, awesome. Discarded packet. So amazing. Gain 2 supply and discard this card. Wow. It's really going our way. That's truly insane. I totally take that. Of course, we are not done yet. We have to draw a threat card, and here we finally see another minion, and that's the Wraggling Blooder. Okay, that's a nasty one. I think that's a reddish, and no, I think it's not the nasty one. I think that's her actually. So let's have a look. When she will activate, she will engage, and she's a melee fighter with a range of 1. Then she would inflict with a 5. That's not nothing. And if she's not able to inflict, then she will engage. But inflict again, then it's something different. The willpower. Ignoring range and targeting the farthest character. Ooh, that's a nasty one. What does she do actually? Thematically, I mean. I have no clue. And she would use the earth to deal 1 damage to each character within range and gain 1 threat token. Okay, that's currently not an issue. She will go into this space here because that's the shadow space. This card goes into our threat area. And again, we still have 1-2 more movement. What am I going to do with that? Because I cannot use Marine's Blade, which is also a melee. I mean, it's a long sword, as you see, but we are not able to reach her just yet. I mean, even thematically, this miniature makes sense finally. So yeah, what are we going to do now? I mean, we still have 2 more full actions. We can play feat cards and whatnot. So I think there is still a lot to do. And I believe I'm going to use my ancient scroll here, which is computer. Use means really removing it from my play. I could exhaust it just to roll 1 altar die, but that's a piece of chance, which I don't like at this point in time. Here I can really change up to 2 altar dice to results of your choice. And I believe I have an idea. So we will start simply with this to change it to that result. That's fine. And then I think let's take the next roll here, and I think we will go for fire. Yes, let's do that. So that was this card here. Again, no action whatsoever. It was just a consumable that we have used. And I guess then we are using Marine's Beckoning Stance. We have to exhaust it actually. Choose an enemy within range. Move that enemy up to 3 spaces toward you. So we are moving her next to us. She's moving right into our sword, but we had to use that symbol here. So we are exhausting it or using it and rolling it. Okay, that's another shadow result. That's okay. But still, this was no action whatsoever. And this is what I really like about this game, where you can really optimize and do things and exhaust, and it's really to some extent Mage Knight Light meets Hero Quest to me. So really very enjoyable actually. So we have still 2 more actions. So I guess for our first action, or for our next action, which we are spending, we are pretty much attacking here with our might value. That's again only 2 dice, but again we are spending 1 of our supplies to roll at least 3 dice. Problem is, this Wraggling Blooder, she has 2 natural defenses. That's definitely something to keep in mind. But yeah, let's simply roll some dice here. And this time I really hope I will not, miss something. Let's see. Okay, that's not, that's not great, actually. So we have to spend 1 to make this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 successes now. Minus the 2, yeah, that's only 2 wounds we are inflicting on the Wraggling Blooder, but okay, I take that. And then we are going to exhaust this one here, or we are using it where we are exhausting the plate. We can still use the plate, keep that in mind. It's still there in our control. We simply can't use the exhaust effect more than once. Okay, that's water now. I think I can't do anything with water, but still that gives us 1 more damage, and this naturally goes through without anything to worry about. That's so bad. I have this shield here. The shield as an action would be amazing. We could deal 2 damage, which would take her out, but we don't have the armor token. Can I get the armor token? I think not, because everything requires an earth token, which we clearly don't have. Should I simply attack again? I mean, we have focus, we have supply. Might be a bit boring, but I think it's still our best bet. Yeah, let's do that. Of course, I could still play a little bit more prepping turns, but there is a realistic chance that we might be able. We just need 2 more damage points here, and with the same result here, I think. I mean, how likely is it? We need in the we need 3 successes. 4 successes. No, we need 4 successes, exactly. 2 damage plus 2. I think it's not unrealistic. Let's do that. So we will spend our last action. Again, we will spend 1 more supply, which allows us to roll 3 dice. Otherwise, it would have been only 2, right? Yeah. I keep forgetting this. And yeah, let's hope for the best, huh? That's a start. We have an exploding die, which means we can roll 1 more. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to focus, and I think we simply have to do that. Yeah, otherwise it would be pointless. Then this action would be pointless because everything. No, let's spend 1 to focus here. So that's now again 1, 2, 3, 4. We get 1 back. That's at least something. But those were 4 successes. Let me do the math again. Minus 2. We have already 3. Again, the Wraggling Blooder is out of here. And again, we get 1 supply from that. Okay, that wasn't terrible at all. It wasn't even that expensive. Of course, we have spent basically our full turn, more or less. But I think that's the idea, getting rid of those folks. But that's also the end of our round. We could play feats, but I don't think we have any feat cards worth playing. We can't exhaust anything else. Yeah, I think that's kind of the end of our hero action turn. We are drawing a card. So let's see what we get. Again, the exploit surroundings. And yes, again, I also shuffle those cards like crazy. I mean, we can still search in the next room or maybe in this room here. Again, we don't need to move there. I think that's not too bad. I think we might be really using those sooner or later. But again, there aren't any threat cards in our threat deck. That's cool. We can't discard an armor token, so again, we have to resist. Our willpower is 2. I think we have supply. Let's spend that supply token for another die. And we need 3 successes. Yeah, those are obviously not 3 successes. This one was already here. That's only 1, so that was not enough. In order not to take too many hits, I think we will spend this one as a success. So that's 2 success. We will get 1 hit. So 1 hit is getting through, but we are getting 2 of those focus token back, which we then later on need for the quest card. That's the reason why I'm doing it this way. Okay, and then yeah, we have to draw a card from Gert's deck. And here we have Spreading stench. Didn't we have that before? I think so, yes. Each character must resist with fortitude and needs 3 successes. Each character must add 2 to this difficulty if there are more enemies. Okay, we don't have a lot of enemies on the board, so that's a simple test with 3, or with a difficulty of 3. Our fortitude is 3, so I think that's enough. Okay. Okay, that's now something. I really want to hold on to the focus because, yeah, I think so. So those are 2. I get 1 hit, right? Let me take that hit. I think that's, yeah, we had 4 out of 14. I think that's still manageable, but still we are getting 2 more focus from that, which we definitely need for the next round and also for the end of this round. Okay, but that wasn't terrible. Over to the quest area. Each hero who controls a clue card must either discard 1 focus for each clue card they control. We do have that, so we are spending 2 of our focus. Or resist 1, 3. And here I'm not 100% sure if that resist 3 counts for each clue card you have, or is it really a simple or? I think it's a simple or actually, because if I don't have that, I'm not sure. If there is 1 POK, we can ignore that. I think we can also ignore the Quaking Altar. I'm really terrible at getting her some armor tokens. Typically she's very strong with that, but we don't have a whole lot of those earth symbols. I think all of those features do not really care, because even the bookshelf, we are not adjacent to it, and we are also, again, we are not triggering this one here anyway. There is no point getting additional clue cards out. So I guess that's already the end of the round, and I think for this video let's still do 1 more turn. I am right next to this doorway here. As a free action, I will explore the room here accordingly, right? I mean, the feature is down here, but again, it doesn't really matter too much. But what's limiting us right now is that we are only able to explore 1 room during a turn. But of course, that's balancing kind of things. I totally get that. And here we have the weapon rack. I think that's one from the core. Yeah, that's one from the core. Here adjacent to this feature may deal 1 damage to an enemy in this room. That's really not terrible. I mean, we are starting to throw these axes and burglars towards our enemies. Really cool thematically. And we can interact with our might, and for each supply gained during the system, deal another. So we are throwing even more stuff towards our enemies. But right now there aren't any enemies, but this might change. But let's see what our quest card for this room is. I will bring out the miniature in a second too. And here we have the potential ambush. And this can't be good, right? Something isn't right. Yeah, that's what I thought. The feeling of being watched increases with every step. And with every turn comes more and more dark corners. Too many places for an ambush, but not enough reasons to turn around now. The search must continue. When revealed, attach this card to this room's feature card, of course. After drawing threat cards, okay, that's what we are doing. Each hero must test agility. Yeah, that's agility with a difficulty of 3. And each hero who fails must activate the drawn threat after drawing threat cards. That's nasty one. Okay, and then of course, if we are adjacent to it, we can draw more clue cards. Okay, then let's bring out the miniature for the weapon rack, and then let's also look for the Raglanders threat deck. So here is the nice looking weapon rack, and this is really one of the games where I should really consider painting it. I think this will really look very terrific. And then after we have drawn our threat cards, right after drawing threat cards, yes, each hero must test, and I think it's only once, right? Yeah, okay. That's not too bad. Let's see what it is. And yes, of course, I think this is one of the big guns now, but our luck must have left us at some point in time. Ragor Cannibal. Okay, he can eat his fellow minions. That's fine with me. Shield 1 or defense 1, health of 7, a range of 2, because they're really, are wielding a very aggressive looking club or so. They will inflict 5. 5 is really not nothing. And if unable, engage and gain 1 threat token. And yeah, they're also using the earth tokens. And that's the yellow minion who goes into this shadow space here. So again, the minion goes into our threat area. This goes to the quest area, and it's getting tight there, but right now it's still okay. And yeah, the thing is, this fellow will activate, right? So where we are, okay. And he will move 4 spaces and he needs to get in range. Yeah, I think that will be bad now actually. So 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 moving closer to us. Right now he's not in range. 1, 2, 3 spaces actually. I think this was really the shortest path. So again, he cannot inflict, but if unable, engage. So he will now move closer to us. Now he is in range, and this is where he will stay. Only they will move until they're in the quote-unquote optimal position. And that's the optimal position, because for us it's definitely somewhat penalizing. We have to move adjacent to this fella. And then they will gain 1 threat token. I think that's the first threat token that have entered the game. And again, rest assured, I will forget. So the next time this fella is activating, he's using basically stench, and then I have to resist. But we have to resist with fortitude, so I guess we are in a somewhat good shape, and we still have full 3 actions, so nothing really has happened here. So what's our game plan? We want to open more rooms, and I don't know, I think we don't want to move into that room because that's kind of a dead end. So we want to move into that direction. That was already a stupid idea, moving down here, but okay, live and learn. So I guess we will move closer to that direction. And in theory, we don't even need to engage this guy because we might be more swift and agile. But well, he's moving 4, right? Yeah, he is. So maybe that's definitely kind of a bummer. But okay, let's spend our first action to really start playing an ongoing action card using shadows. Why is it ongoing, you might ask? Because it's a card that you play out and you can, in theory, play at any time. Play this here on a hero within range. That's me. We can use it, again, that's out of the game then, or basically discard it out of our area. We move up to 3 spaces and gain 2 armor tokens, and we can exhaust it. We have shadow to gain an armor token. That was my first plan actually, so maybe we will gain the earth token, which we might need. So I will play that. I will not yet use it, I believe, but I will exhaust it, and with it we have to use one of those shadow dice. This gives me an armor, and where are those armor tokens? Oh, I'm a mess, really. My organization sucks. And then we are rolling that die. And that's wind again, I believe. That doesn't help us in any way. But it also doesn't benefit our minions here. That's at least something. But we have gained an armor token. I will take that. And as I want to show you stuff, I guess we are playing our next action card. That's really a full action, because it says so. Action. You may move up to 3 spaces, then attack. So let's do that. So 1, 2, 3. So we are still adjacent to this fella here, and then we will attack. Unfortunately, I was really hoping for that earth symbol here, but I think I really don't have anything that would allow me to change these dice in any way. No, I really don't have anything now. That's definitely a bummer. But that's fine. Let's still resolve that attack. So this might be the first time we have to live with a minion at the end of our hero turn. But okay, we will spend 1 of our supplies here for sure to add another die. So in total, again, we will roll 3 dice. Yeah, let's do that. And we still have some focus token. That's fine. I think that was a pretty crappy roll. So 1, 2, and 2. Okay, he only has a defense of 1. That's definitely something to consider. So do we want... I think that's fine. We are spending 1 and get 1 back, pretty much. So that's 1, 2, 3. They have a defense of 1. So this, what is it? A rag or cannibal gets 2 points of damage out of 7. Okay. But this card is gone. We cannot resolve it because, again, we don't have the earth effect. That's definitely a bummer. We still have 1 more action. And I think we don't have any feat cards in our hand right now. there's really not a lot we can do. So maybe we want to simply go for our... Yeah, I think there is no point, right? Of course, we could still move. That's the thing. If we would move 1, 2, 3, and then basically I think that may be the better deal. Let's move out. Let's move out of range. No, we will spend our last action to move 1, 2, I don't know, 3 spaces in here. And if we are now using, and again, we can use this even if it's exhausted, move up to 3 spaces and gain 2 armor tokens. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. So again, we are next to the room here. I think that's definitely a cool stuff. So this card is gone. We still gain 2 more armor tokens. So we are now at 3. That's certainly something. I was considering to rest, but maybe we don't have to do that now anymore. No, I think we don't. Okay, that's nice. Of course, I could have used my Poxoid Platter here, but I think I will play this when I really can finish him off. So right now, it doesn't really give us anything. And I guess that's the end of our hero turn. So it's really, okay, it's maybe getting a little bit more interesting now. We are still getting a card, and that's the Battle Lust again. That's the same card we just used. That's a cool card. You may move up to 3 spaces, then attack. That's pretty cool. I think I might need that one way or the other. That's a card we can use to move and attack, so never a bad thing. But then we will activate our threat area. I think that's the very first time we are doing this, actually. So the Record Cannibal. The Record Cannibal has one, I keep forgetting, threat token. So he simply starts to, smell unpleasantly. Unpleasant stench, Raglanders give off, which increase care. Before a minion with threat tokens would activate. So that's basically now each character in its room must resist Fortitude with X, and X is currently 1. Yeah, that's not too bad. We have 3 dice for Fortitude, so I guess it might be even beneficial for us because we could gain more threat tokens. So we need 1 success. Let's roll that again. It left. Okay, we didn't get any focus tokens, but we also didn't get any damage whatsoever. That's fine. Then he will move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces closer to us. He's not within range. 1, 2, 3. That's not enough. So he will engage 1 again, and then we would gain another threat token. Okay, that's now something where maybe things get a little bit out of hand, but let's see about that. Maybe we don't have to deal with that. With this scenario, I really learned to some extent that you don't really have to beat all those minions out there on the board. So typically you have this conga line following you to some extent, at least if you are fast enough. With her, I'm not so sure if that's still something that we can do. The other characters, keep in mind, had additional movement quite a lot, actually. Of course, yeah, I have this Battle Lust, but even for the Battle Lust, I have to spend an action, so it's still 3 spaces we can move. So maybe here I really have to play it a little bit more aggressively. But yeah, that was our threat area already. Yeah, that's that. Again, we are activating Gert. Each hero must either discard 1 armor token or resist. Yeah, let's simply discard an armor token. That's really not a problem. We have more than enough. We had 3 in total. Again, we don't have the earth tokens here, but we would use them anyway. So it's very unlikely that they will get to use those relatively often, unless I'm using it and we are right now rolling it again, the same symbol. That's maybe the one thing that could change that. But apart from that, I will definitely use those earth tokens when they come up. So then let's see the next Gert card. Trail of Refuse. Each hero must either discard 1 supply or resist. Oh, 4. 4 is rather nasty. I guess I'm not going to. No, I'm already at 4 health, and you at some point in time you really have to basically start to be careful. So yeah, let's spend that supply for now. That's okay, but that was already the event taken care of. Again, we have to spend 2 focus here. Let's definitely do that. And I guess again nothing will actually activate. And yeah, maybe what I forgot was this weapon rack. I could have moved to the weapon rack and then but it's 1 damage per whatever, I guess. He still needs 5 more damage points, and he is accumulating more and more threat tokens. That's definitely something to consider. But if we are moving out of the room, the threat tokens also don't do us any harm, right? Each character in its room, yeah, must resist. So really also not that big of a deal ultimately, if I will be able to move. But of course, there will be more traps coming, there will be more minions coming, and there are also events in that those threat decks typically, so maybe they will activate again. I don't know the Raglanders too much. I only played against them once, so bear with me here. I have really no clue what's awaiting me. I know all those baddies in there, but I also know the traps, at least for the most part, but I'm not 100% sure about all those events in that deck, what happened. The same is true for Gert. But okay, I guess that's again the end of the round. So let's have a look at our game board here. So I guess the idea is to either get rid of this fella here, or maybe really continue to move. And then, yeah, where would we move? I think definitely into this room, and then maybe in here, there, and there. Because again, I want to move back to this room here. The one problem with that is if I'm running out of doors and feature cards, at that point in time I can't no longer explore different rooms, but I can still open doors. That's the reason why there are still more doors than there are feature cards, for example. So let's say my last room is here, I can still open the door in here, for example, because it's already or counts already as a revealed room. But yeah, let's see about that. I really do hope you are still enjoying my little playthrough of Altar Quest here. I'm really having a blast. Maybe the one piece, I think it's maybe better playing with 2 or 3 characters, but yeah, on camera and learning the game, I think it's totally fine. And the very first time I played this game solo, it was definitely challenging, but that's because it was not a fighting character, so I was not able to take those guys out with one shot. So there were always 2 or maybe even 3 minions on the board, which I had to deal with. She really does exceptionally well taking those out, but is maybe then a little bit slower, for example. And now I was able to get those torn maps relatively, so I can kind of ignore my features here on the board. But apart from that, really it's a very fun game, which really makes you consider what card you play, in which order you are playing those, which dice to use. So really a lot to play out in your head. But ultimately it goes down to the dice. But also at first at Brook City I really thought, okay, hey, you can't fail with those dice. I mean, even if you fail, you get something out of that. But that's, I think, a good thing actually, because it's really not too random. Let's think about something like Arkham Horror, where you have to roll a 5 or 6, and if you don't roll that, you're basically toast. Here you still have something to deal with. So it's really more tactic, maybe strategy driven, what you are going to do, rather than simply relying on those dice. Yes, you still roll dice, and you're rolling a lot of exploding dice, then yeah, that's great, and you get to roll more, but it's really not hindering you too heavily, I would say. So I think that's really something that's kind of nice actually. I like that a lot. Anyway, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. Before I forget, a huge shout out to all of my patrons out there. Really appreciate all your support as usual. Support my show on Patreon, join my community here on YouTube, like and subscribe, everything helps. And yeah, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.